Good evening, everyone. I'm an eye surgeon from Bowling Green, Kentucky.
I'm the son of an Irish-Italian mom.
My story, from secretary to CEO, is only possible in this nation.
I think I actually flew on this plane with Ronald Reagan.
First of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. He's number 11.
I think that really goes to the judgment. Do we want someone with that kind of character, that kind of careless language?
Well, I know Ben doesn't think that about me. I'm sure he was talking about one of the other guys, not me.
The one guy that had some special interest that I know of that tried to get me to change my views on something that was generous and gave me money was Donald Trump. He wanted casino gambling in Florida.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Well, let me tell you, Jake, the single biggest national security threat facing America right now is the threat of a nuclear Iran. We've seen 6.5 years of President Obama leading from behind.
When it comes to China, why would we be giving an official state visit to a country that's been involved in a massive cyber attack against the United States? That's not just a visit. That's a 21-gun salute in the South Lawn.
This is really about the survival of Western civilization. This is not just a little conflict with a Middle Eastern country that we've just now given over $100 billion to. The equivalent in U.S. terms is $5 trillion.
The number one test for use of military force should be the vital national security interest of the United States.
We believe that we operate better in the world when our allies work with us. President Bush did it in the Gulf War. We work better when we are unified.
Iran and Planned Parenthood. One has something to do with the defense of the security of this nation. The other has something to do with the defense of the character of this nation.
He came back later and he said he misspoke. There was no question because I heard when he said the statement. I was watching and he said the statement and I said, wow, I can't believe it. I will take care of women. I respect women. I will take care of women. First of all, I want to build a wall that works. So important, and it's a big part of it. Second of all, we have a lot of really bad dudes in this country from outside, and I think Chris knows that maybe as well as anybody.
We don't need an apprentice in the White House. We have one right now. He told us all the things we wanted to hear back in 2008. We don't know who you are or where you're going. We need someone who can actually get the job done. And you talked about business. You took 4 major projects into bankruptcy over and over and over again.
When the folks of Iowa found out the true facts of the job that you've done in Wisconsin, all of a sudden you tubed. He was number 1. Now he's number 6 or 7 in the polls. So
If I were sitting at home and watching this back and forth, I'd be inclined to turn it off.
Typically, politicians do things that are politically expedient, and they are looking for whatever their particular goal is.
There is a lunatic in North Korea with dozens of nuclear weapons and a long-range rocket that can already hit the very place in which we stand tonight.
Don't worry about me and Hillary. That'll all work out, and I'm from Ohio.
I love the idea of a good intellectual capacity to deal with our enemies, but the fact is, if you don't have good intelligence that's reliable and that's honest, you're not going to have good intelligence and you cannot make good decisions.
So 40 years ago, I smoked marijuana, and I admit it. I'm sure that other people might have done it and may not want to say it in front of 25 million people. My mom's not happy that I just did.
I was proud to lead 31 states before the U.S. Supreme Court defending the Second Amendment, and we won that landmark victory.
So is a voluntary program a way to get the Social Security system solvent again like that?
No, it's not, but when Donald did it, it's a good start. That's really good. No, listen.
So we're going to put thousands and thousands of jobs in my state. I think it's something like 30,000 in Ohio, other states across this country.
I think you're going to see a big impact on autism.
Dr. Carson, you just heard his medical take.
He's an okay doctor.
One of the greatest medical discoveries of all time were the vaccines, particularly for smallpox.
What woman would you like to see on the $10 bill?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Who else could possibly be on that money other than my wife? And then that way she could spend her own money to her face.
Well, I'd change the 20. I'd take Jackson off, and I'd leave Alexander Hamilton right where he is as one of our founding fathers.
Well, because she's been sitting for 3 hours, I think my daughter Ivanka, who's right here. Other than that, we'll go with Rosa Parks. I like that.
First of all, I got to say to Carson Huckabee, thanks a lot for making the rest of us look like chumps up here. But I put Clara Barton. I once worked for the American Red Cross. She was a great founder of the Red Cross.
Governor Kasich.
Was probably not maybe legal, but I would pick Mother Teresa. the lady that I had a chance to meet, a woman who lived a life so much bigger than her own.
What would you want, Governor Christie, I'll start with you, your Secret Service code name to be?
You know, I've been called a lot of names by a lot of different people. Now I got to get called by names by the Secret Service. I would just say True Heart.
Secretariat.
Ever ready. It's very high energy, Donald.
Mr. Trump?
Humble.
People in Florida upset at me over a joke I made about Florida State, but what the heck? I want my code name to be Gator.
Justice never sleeps.
That's a mouthful, but okay. How will the world look different once your Air Force One is parked in the hangar of your presidential library?
People wouldn't bully us anymore because they would know that that would be an invitation to their destruction.
Young people coming out of school with student loans up to their eyeballs will find, instead of no jobs, 2, 3, 4, 5 job opportunities.
If we learn to lead in the Middle East right now, a coalition will form behind us, but they will never do it if we just sit there and talk about it.
We need to live in an America where we have an economy where everyone can live their piece of the American dream, no matter what that dream is.
As president, I will make this a nation that will solve problems. And how? By having the elected officials and the leaders realize they're Americans before they're Republicans or Democrats.
If I become president, we will do something really special. We will make this country greater than ever before. We'll have more jobs. We'll have more of everything. We were discussing disease. We were discussing all sorts of things tonight, many of which will just be words. It'll just pass on. I don't want to say politicians, all talk, no action. But a lot of what we talked about is words, and it'll be forgotten very quickly. If I'm president, many of the things that we discussed tonight will not be forgotten. We'll find solutions, and the world will respect us. They will respect us like never before, and it'll be actually a friendlier world. And I have to say, it's a great honor to be here tonight.